I've built another little scene on a card front size piece of paper. I used that black damask with the spider web print, and I matted a cutout of the little witch here brewing a cup of, looks like tea or something yummy to me. I used again that starburst print, and so I just cut a square out and had the starburst kind of facing this. It's very subtle, but it's one of those details that I know is there. And then I have a little pumpkin that I cut out and inked the edges of. And then I'm going to go ahead and peel this scowl off and ink the edges of her as well, because I think that the edges look a little bit too crisp. You know, when the white core edge is showing, then I just think it kind of shows messier cutting. The messier cuts show up more. Go around with my chalk ink. Just kind of distress it so it looks a little more rustic. Okay, and now I've got one of those plain white card fronts. Now this time I put some ink over the edge of it. And my idea is to use this side of the card, which happens to fit perfectly. I wasn't sure if I had measured it correctly when I cut it. And on this side I'm going to use some really old wood stamps to build kind of a cloud scene here. So I'll open up my card front like this, and I'm just going to use some of the black chalk ink on here. I want it to be really subtle. And then I'm also going to add some silver. And I'm going to kind of be mindful of the shape of the ink that it leaves, because the chalk ink is shaped kind of diamond, and if you're not careful that will show up. And then, because I want it to be really organic, I'm just going to kind of center it on there and use my hand to rub, not all the way around the edge of the stamp, but just kind of in the middle. It's just a little something. Okay. Go around the perimeter of the card in even spaces with my roller. And I have just a peek of the paper showing up here at the top, which I like. I'm going to use another peek of that color here to stick this offcut down. I cover up the place that I like the least on my stamping. And then I'm going to actually cut out the manufacturer's name. The manufacturer being October Afternoon, and it's a October-y Halloween card. I like to kind of use the manufacturer strips whenever I can, and you know, give them a little product shout out, because I hadn't already said the name of them. Gotta love any company that still has their products made in the USA. And then add my artist signature here. So that card's looking really cute. Okay, now down here, remember I was talking earlier about changing up the stickers. So I've got these here. If I take this Life is Good part off of this frame, now I not only have a new little sign that can go here, but I also have one here too. The little frame can be something else. So I was playing around off camera, and I came up with this little cutout, which I inked the edges of, and then I add some little banner tails like we made before. I inked the edges of these also. One of the reasons I chose to ink the edges of the paper was to disguise the fact that these tail ends and the sign are not the same pattern. This has a faint graph and this doesn't, so it kind of just helps mask that. And another fun thing about the holiday is that you can lend itself to fun phrases. So I'm going to take the Life is Good and I'm going to put this Life is Spooky over it. So I'm going to do the same thing that we've been doing and cut this into an irregular rectangle shape. Get a little closer to my letters. And I'll just cut this edge off here. Use that piece I just cut off for the side. Just like this. So I'm going to need a larger piece for the background on this side. A little bit of glue on the edge there, and I'll just hold it kind of in place and move it around until I have it where I want it. So I made 2 stickers out of one just by adding the little cut apart sheets and turned them into cute little flags. And I can play with, do I like this better over here? Do I like this sticker better here? Love it when this happens. The sticker just comes right away from the sheet, so I can move it around and the backing's still on it. I think after all that playing around, I'm going to go ahead and go with this one. I think the edges of it. So it just has that kind of spookified look to it. And go ahead and add some adhesive, and it's got the glue dot, so it's going to be raised on one side. Put it at an angle there, and it looks cute with the little ribbon coming out from behind it. So now let's add some bling to the top of this one. Get out my bling box. Get those enamel dots that I used on my other card out. And as I arrange my dots, I'm going to be looking for a grouping of 3. I've got this dot over here. I'm just going to put my dot right over that to have a little, kind of like a little bokeh effect on that side. And then let's see. I guess I'll use a mid-size gray adhesive dot somewhere over here. I'll go right up here. Okay. So thanks for joining me on another Craft with Anna adventure. I love all the cards that we were able to make together. We used just a couple sheets of paper, cooked up some card magic with a couple patterns, and some fussy cutting. Experimented with our handwriting and let go of some of our expectations of perfection with a few whimsical banner sentiments. You in the mood for some more inspiration? The magazine I've been writing for the last year has just released all their past issues in the Apple Store. So if you want to check that out, along with my interview with Embellishit's Shelby Dredge in the September edition. I really enjoyed working with the other contributors for that magazine, and I'm looking forward to the next chapter in my crazy, crafty Craft with Anna adventure life. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.